Business School. So we're currently ranked 7th in the UK in the Financial Times rankings and 59th in the world globally. We offer a wide range of business and management courses at Alliance MBS, ranging from accounting and finance to marketing and to psychology. So our entry requirements, depending on the institution and the course applied for, it can range between a minimum GPA of 83 to 90%.
Thank you very much, Jodie, for your introduction. Rachel, would you like to say hi to everyone?
Hello everyone, my name is Rachel and I work for the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. I manage the MSc admissions process, and in our department we offer a wide variety of courses. We have Advanced Control and Systems Engineering, we have Communications and Signal Processing, Electrical Power Systems Engineering, and Renewable Energy and Clean Technology. So there are a lot of career options that you can go into with all of our courses, and the entry requirement that we look for is, depending on institution, ranking of institution, we would look for a weighted average of 80% to 83%. And for all of our courses, you do need the relevant background in the particular course that you're applying for. So please bear that in mind when you apply. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Now let's move on to SSED. Hi, Michael and Stephanie. Do you mind saying hello to everyone?
Yes, so I'm Michael from the School of Environment, Education and Development.
And I'm Steph from the School of Environment, Education and Development, and we're both admissions officers who deal with the MA applications.
And the School of Environment, Education and Development consists of 5 different streams. The Manchester School of Architecture, Geography, Planning and Environmental Development, Education, and the Global Development Institute.
We're one of the top 5 geography departments in the world, according to the World University rankings, and 70% of the research carried out by MIE is defined as world leading.
Thank you very much. Before we start our today's Q&A session, we would like to get to know more about each faculty or each school. And we know that the University of Manchester has just opened your application last week. So I guess you have already received large numbers of applications. So shall we start with business school, Jodie? Would you mind giving us more information about what courses you offer and what kind of general entry requirements for our Chinese applicants?
Yes, so we offer a wide range of different business and management courses. So the first category we have is Accounting and Finance Division. So in that we have MSc Accounting, MSc Accounting and Finance, and MSc Finance, and MSc Quantitative Finance. For those courses we use an economic ranking China university list. The minimum GPA we're looking for those courses is around 83%, depending on the institution, and sometimes we will look for 90 as well. So the next category we have is the People Management and Organisation Division, which is the courses Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations, International Human Resource Management and Comparative Industrial Relations, Business and Organisational Psychology, which are taught in the same class. And then the next category is Innovation Management and Policy, which is the MSc Innovation Management and Entrepreneurship course. And then the last division we have is Marketing, International Business, Operations and Analytics, where we have MSc Marketing, MSc Business Analysis and Strategic Management, MSc International Business Management, MSc Management, MSc Operations Project and Supply Chain Management, and MSc Business Analytics, Research Risk Analysis.
Thank you, Jodie. I know that you are starting to use staged admissions, right?
Yeah, we've been using the stage admissions process for 3-4 years now.
Yes, we will go back to that specifically later on. Yes. Hi Rachel, it's your turn now. Would you mind giving us more information about some of your courses? We know that you have opened your new courses with extended research. Do you mind giving us more info?
Yes, no problem. Each course now, apart from the, on top of the one-year talk programme, each course is now going to offer a 2-year course with the option of extended research. So to progress on to the second year of the course, we usually require a performance at distinction level in the first year taught MSc, which is around 70%, which seems like quite a lot, but believe me, a lot of students do achieve that, which is the quality of the student that we attract for our courses. But if you don't meet that criteria to progress to the second year, if you enrol on a 2-year course, you will leave with the 1-year qualification, so don't worry too much. And prior to the summer break, if you are on a 2-year course, you will do a preliminary study and outline of your dissertation, and then during the second year this project is fully developed, and it will give you an enhanced research experience that provides a great opportunity for you to develop your research skills and explore in depth some of the topics discussed during the course. So there are a lot of options available for our courses. So if you apply for the 1-year course and you change your mind and want to do the 2-year course whilst you are enrolled at the university, that option is there for you. And the same if you've enrolled on a 2-year course, but you think the 1-year course is the one that you really want to do, you can swap. So, but you can apply for both courses, both the 1-year and the 2-year course, and you will make a decision later in the cycle when you get your CAS, and the entry requirements are exactly the same. So, depending on your ranking of institution, 80 to 83%.
That's very good information. Thank you for sharing, Rachel.
Okay.
It gives some students some flexibility regarding what they can choose.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot of flexibility, so yeah.
Good to know. So for Michael and Stephanie, we know that we have so many Chinese students who would like to apply for courses from your SEED. Would you mind sharing the information from the last year? What kind of subjects did you receive the largest number of students from China? And what are the general entry requirements for this year moving forward?
Well, the general entry requirements moving forward would be 80% for Chinese students for all the master's courses. Development economics policy. Development economics and policy require a macroeconomics, microeconomics, and statistics in your final year. Throughout your degree, and that has to be to an 80% standard as well. And the IELTS requirement as well remains the same from last year.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the numbers of students because I wasn't here last year.
The most popular programs, as far as I know, were the ones that have actually changed this year to a staged admissions process. So those are the MSc Human Resource Management, International Development, MSc Development Finance, and the MA Education International. And just to echo as well the subject requirements. So a module in macroeconomics, microeconomics, and statistics also goes for the MSc Development Finance.
Thank you very much for sharing. Now let's move on to our Q&A session. We have already received a few questions from our students. So let's start one by one. So the first question is for SEED. One of the students wants to ask one of your course, Environmental Impact Assessment and Management. She wants to know that the entry requirements for students for her, because she has done her first degree in Hong Kong. What kind of entry requirement for this kind of student?
So it would still be a 2-1 equivalent for environmental impact assessment and management, and we do assess each application individually to find the international equivalent. I'm not sure what the Hong Kong GPA system, it depends on the institution. So we would still require an equivalent to a UK 2-1 for that institution.
I think many universities in Hong Kong do issue second class upper division classifications, that's the word, and they would be considered comparable to the UK classification on a one-by-one basis.
Yeah, just to add a bit more information, the student has been studying in Hong Kong Baptist University.
Okay.
So we still need to look for a 2-1 equivalent, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. The second question is also for SEED. Estate asset management and real estate development. What's the entry requirement for students who are not from 211 or 985? Do you require any specific academic background or related subject?
Well, we don't use the just the university lists for the 985 or the 211 universities. So we have our own institution list, and the university would need to be on our list. Otherwise, unfortunately, no amount of professional experience would make a difference.
Understand. And do you require any academic background for those subjects? Do they have to study any specific courses, or any background student can apply?
Yes, we don't specify any particular undergraduate subjects for that course.
Okay, thank you. For anyone who is not sure if your university is on the list or not, please check with your UKEC counselors. I'm sure that they would be able to advise you further. Thank you, Michael. The next question is still about human resource development, international development, this one. The student is asking, when she makes the application, does she still need to submit IELTS to achieve overall 6 and writing in 6 as well?
She would still need to submit an IELTS that would meet the university's requirements. If she didn't have an IELTS or it didn't meet the requirements for either the university overall or the pre-sessional 6-week course, then she'd be put on a waiting list. And then once she submits the IELTS, we can reassess the application.
Okay, thank you very much. For education leadership, this subject, would you also require 6.5 when making the application?
Well, yes, but you could submit your IELTS afterwards, so we can issue an offer, a conditional offer, which would be conditional on English language, if you didn't have an IELTS or if your IELTS didn't meet the requirements, and you just need to meet those requirements before the start date of the course.
Okay, thank you very much, Stephanie. Now we have got one question for EE, Rachel. The student would like to apply for advanced control and systems engineering. Her question is it's about university list. If her university is not 211 or 985, what's the entry requirement?
As Michael said, we have an institution list, and it's not specifically 211 985, but again, similar to SEED, if the institution isn't on the list, unfortunately, we won't be able to make an offer. So without knowing the university, we don't know.
Okay, and what's the entry requirement for IELTS to apply for this course?
Our IELTS for all the MSCs that we offer is 6.5 overall, with no subtest less than 6.
And if the student couldn't meet IELTS, could they be able to apply for pre-sessional?
They could, but at the moment we're in discussions with the Language Centre because we've slightly changed our IELTS requirements for 2020 entry. So we are actually in discussion as to what the entry requirements will be. But yes, they can apply for a pre-sessional course if they meet those entry requirements.
Thank you very much, Rachel. The next question is regarding AMBS Business School. The student would like to apply for operation, project, and supply chain management. Her question is, if her university is not on this list, will she get rejected straight away?
Yeah, they will not receive an offer. The students need to have studied from a Chinese university that's on our ranking list. We use a slightly different list to my colleagues, we have our own business school list. But yes, if the student hasn't studied at a China university on the list, then we won't be able to take their application further.
Even other criteria are very, very good. No.
Yes,
Yeah.
If we do take the ranking of the institution into consideration, so we're not able to make an offer.
Okay, thank you very much, Jody. One more question. This is regarding international management and marketing and the development finance of these two subjects. If the student has done 2 plus 2, I mean 2 years in the UK, would they get IELTS waived? Do they still need to submit their IELTS?
Sorry, what was the first course?
International management and marketing. That's from business
EU.
school.
We have, which course is it, sorry?
International management and marketing.
We have management and marketing.
Yeah.
We don't have international management marketing.
Probably she means either management or marketing.
Okay, yeah, so are they for a 2+2?
Yeah.
So they would need to submit an IELTS, yeah.
And it's the same for the MSc Development Finance.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is about education. For education subject, what kind of criteria you look into when you make the offer, apart from academic result?
Do we know which course specifically this is about?
It's MA education.
The MA education. It would need to be, there would need to be some content of education, or it could be a degree in English language. If neither of those have been studied at undergraduate level, we would accept a different subject with an additional professional experience of at least 6 months.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. For accounting and finance, this subject, how many rounds do you have? Because the students probably just heard that you are doing stage-based. How many rounds of applications for this subject, Jody?
So for MBS as a whole, we have 5 rounds of application. So the first round will be, so anyone who submits their application by the 15th of January will get a decision by the 14th of February. And then the second round is anyone who submits their application by the 31st of March will get a decision by the 1st of May. And the third round, anyone who submits their application by the 1st of May will get a decision by the 29th of May. The fourth round is anyone who submits their application by the 30th of June will get a decision by the 31st of July. And the final round is anyone who submits their application by the 21st of August will get a decision by the 31st of August. So everyone needs to submit their applications by the latest 21st of August. But we would always encourage students to submit their application as soon as possible, especially for accounting and finance, because that's one of our most popular courses.
Okay, thank you very much, Jody. We have got one more question for Rachel. It's regarding the communication and signal processing, this subject. The student would like to know what kind of subjects does he need to study before he makes the application. Do you require any specific academic background?
Yes, you would need, the student would need a degree in communications or information engineering or something similar. We would look for a very strong, and it would have to be electrical engineering, but communications, information engineering route. We would need very strong mathematical content and modules such as communication principles, digital signal processing, microwaves, electromagnetics, circuits, RF frequencies, it's difficult to say which specific modules because they're all called different things, but you would need that dedicated communications engineering background. Without that, and with the marks, the relevant modules at the right level, we wouldn't be able to make an offer. So, say for example your background was in automation,
Yeah.
it would have very little communication engineering background, so we wouldn't make an offer for communications and signal processing.
In that case, would you suggest students to transfer to apply for a different subject or?
Unfortunately, no. The onus would be on the student to apply for another course. We don't make that recommendation, I'm afraid.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. So for this subject, if the student would like to apply for both course with or without extended research, do they have to make 2 applications?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Rachel.
Okay.
The next question is about business analytics and strategic management, this course. Is this a new subject for business school?
No, this course we've had this course for around 6 or 7 years now.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of the other courses, yeah, it's quite new, but yeah, we've had it for around 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, the student is from Australia. I mean, the student has done her first degree in Australia,
Okay.
but she is a Chinese. She is asking if she needs to have IELTS to make the application.
It depends how many years she studied in Australia. So if she's done at least 3 years, we can accept. We don't need an IELTS. It's free, at least 3 years in an English-speaking country.
Yeah.
If she has graduated more than 2 years, then we might require an English language. But again, it's just by a case-by-case basis on those applicants.
Thank you, Judy. And she said that she has not got an honor degree. What's the average score that she needs to achieve for applying for this course?
So from Australia, it varies on the institution, but we usually look for between 70 and 75. It's usually 75%.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. For business school, the student would like to know, do you have any new courses this year? I'm not sure why they ask this question.
No, the newest course we have is MSc Accounting, but we've had that course for around 2 years now, but we don't have any new courses.
Okay, thank you very much, Jody. The next question is about a program from SEED, Management and Implementation of Development Project and Development Management, these 2 courses. For these 2, what's the GPA requirement for students who have done their first degree in America and the student has done the full degree in America?
It'd be 3 out of 4, the GPA for America.
3 out of 4.
So that's the equivalent to a UK 2-1. So.
Okay, thank you very much, Jody. For marketing this subject, can they apply for your course without IELTS if they have done 2 years in an English-speaking country?
No, we require an IELTS. If it's 2+2, they need an IELTS.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Now I think we have got more questions for SEED. For MSc Human Resource Management, this subject, apart from IELTS requirement of 6.5 and first degree from a foreign university, do you have any other entry requirement? Do students have to submit applications before next February?
They don't have to. It's a staged admissions process, but I mean, the general advice, like Jody said, general advice is always, as soon as you're ready, submit your application. We fully expect to run the staged admissions process throughout the academic year, but there is no guarantee. We might have to close early.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. Next question is about environmental monitoring, modeling, and reconstruction. I don't think this is any of the course that you are managing.
It is SEED, it's a SEED course, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Stephanie. So what's the entry requirement for this course? The student is asking.
So it's 80% weighted average for Chinese students. I'm not sure if there's any specific module requirements, but I think it's just the same, equivalent of 2-1.
Okay, thank you very much, Stephanie. So for the extended research course, Rachel, if the student has applied for 1-year course and they want to transfer to 2 years, how would they deal with the visa purpose? The
Is
student
that,
asking, yeah.
is that if they had enrolled on a one-year course?
The student is considering applying for 1 year first and to see the possibility of getting the change to 2 years.
So they would change to the 2 years whilst they were on the one-year course?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think they would have to go home to apply for their visa, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. No, I wouldn't really like to give that as the correct answer. But the option is possible for them to transfer. But I think they would have to go home for their visa and apply for a new one.
Okay, thank you very much, Rachel. For the subject Advanced Control and Systems Engineering, what's the entry requirement and do you require any specific course subject when the student apply?
Yes, depending on ranking of institution, it would be between 80 and 83%. And also we would need, again, very strong mathematical content, and you would need control systems, principles, signals and systems. Again, because the modules vary in name so much,
Yeah.
I can't give all of them, but it would be like control, automation, signals and systems, maths, and you would need to show a lot of consistency in the relevant areas. It isn't just a case of you've got 80% or 83% overall. You would need 83% in the vast mathematical content of your undergraduate degree and also in the relevant control modules.
Would it be possible to check the information from online for what courses they will have to have, do you think?
No, again, I think on our website it just says, you do need a strong control background, because we can't be that specific because we deal with applications from all over the world and the modules are called different names.
Yeah.
So it should be self-explanatory in the degree that you're studying, whether it's control related. So for example, if you were doing a communications degree, it wouldn't be suitable for control.
Okay, thank you very much, Rachel. Again, if any student who are not sure about entry requirements, please check University of Manchester website for specific course information and also talk with your counselor to get more information. Now we have got more questions regarding business school courses. Jody, for human resource management, accounting and finance, and marketing, these three subjects, what are the entry requirements for 3+1 students?
And so for 3+1 students, we would look for at least 85% in China.
Yeah.
From we can sometimes accept students that have studied in China that is at a uni that isn't on our list, but because we don't get a lot of 3+1s, it's a case by case basis for those ones. But yeah, we would look for 80%. 85%, sorry, and then we would make an offer subject to the student completing their study in the UK with at least 65% in their final year, so they graduate with a 2-1.
Okay, thank you very much, Jody. I think it's so lucky to have all our admissions team here to answer questions directly to our students. So before the end of today's live stream, I would like to ask each one of you to give some tips to our students. So for example, when you assess applications, what kind of mistakes do students normally make, or what kind of information you would like to share with our UKC students? Shall we start with Jody?
Yeah, so my top tip would be to submit your application as soon as possible because of how competitive our courses are. Although we do operate the staged admissions process, it's not always possible that by April, May that there are places available on some courses, and that's when we might have to operate a wait list. So we would encourage students to submit their applications as soon as possible when they're ready. My second tip would to make sure that the statement of purpose is correct and that when they're speaking about the course that it's the course they're applying for, and that they're speaking about the university they want to go to. Sometimes we get students who are applying for different courses at different universities. They might submit the wrong statement of purpose, so they might be addressing University of Leeds.
That's very wrong.
Yeah, so we would make sure that all your documents are correct. So yeah, just check through. Obviously, we understand that students might have just one statement of purpose that they'll send to multiple schools, but to make sure that they're addressing the correct course and the correct university.
Yeah, thank you very much, Julie. It's a very valuable input. What about Rachel? Do you want to share anything with our students?
Yeah, probably the same as Jodie. It's get your application in as soon as possible, and read very carefully the documents required for the application. So basically transcripts
Yeah.
in English, official English translation and Chinese. And also it's very important that we have a studying certificate from China in English, an official English language translation and the Chinese document. The transcripts from China, again, original language and official translations. And if you are studying in the UK, again, we do need the official transcripts. And if you are studying in the UK, you must send in an official copy of your final year modules, because they are key in assessing applications, because we need to know what you're studying in your final year. And also for 3+1 and 2+2 students, we really do need the UK letter of enrolment, which will state when it will have your UK address, it will state when your course started and when it's expected to finish. If we have those documents in the first instance, we can fully assess an application and, if applicable, make an offer. Because what we don't want is to have to chase for more information, because that just delays the process, not only for us as administrators, but for the student waiting for the offer.
Thank you very much, Rachel. So here I want to ask this question on behalf of students. If the student makes the application without providing the final year's course list, will they get rejected straight away, or you will send an email asking them to provide it?
It's for students predominantly who are studying in the UK 2+2 and 3+1. We definitely need them.
Yeah.
We will not make an offer without. But for some of our courses where we're not 100% sure if they've got enough background, if they're studying the full 4 years in China, we do like to see. We sometimes will ask for final year modules. But for students studying in China, we are aware that it's like the graduation thesis that predominantly they do in the final year. So it's a case-by-case basis from China, but if you're studying in the UK, you must always send in your final year modules.
Okay, thank you very much, Rachel. What about Michael? Do you have any tips you want to share with our UKEC students?
Similar to what was already said, apply as soon as possible, apply with all the documents, including, if you have one, an IELTS test, even if that's not a requirement that you have to have that at the time of application. On the other hand, don't necessarily send too much in, just stick to the documents that are actually required. You will sometimes get an automatic email from the university telling you to look at the to-do list and to send in any documents on there. That is really only relevant if you've been made an offer. Before you've heard from us with a decision on your application, just ignore the to-do list, basically.
Sorry, can I just make a point about the to-do list?
Yeah.
Some students do look at it, and we will often get emails because it asks for a degree certificate. And some students get quite concerned about that. So, but I'm still studying, how can I send my degree certificate? Don't worry about it. That's my advice, is because we know that the vast majority of our applicants are still studying, and we don't actually require the actual degree certificate. It's just...
And certainly not by
yeah.
the deadline that is automatically generated. So if you say on your application form that you will graduate in June 2020, we will not expect you to have a degree certificate before then.
So that's just to put students' mind at rest.
Yeah, thanks for clarification.
It's like, you know, they do get quite concerned about it because it's not 100% clear, is it really? So.
Yeah, thanks for thinking from students' point of view. What about Jodie? Anything to share?
Well, I'd say the same thing. So make sure that you've got all your documents in that's required. Double check them and make sure that they're correct. And like Jodie was saying, they have the university name correct and the name of the course. If you have a CV as well, that can be really useful. Because sometimes we use work experience in some courses to see whether you've got enough relevant experience for a degree. But yeah, just if you have any questions, there's always your agents and also, you know, the admissions team that can help.
Thank you so much. I think this is the end of today's live stream. I want to say thank you, a big thank you for everyone coming here to support us and to answer our students' questions. And I hope you have a good day too. The information you shared is very useful. Yes. And thank you everyone for watching. This is the end of today's stream. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
I belong in a place where they are wise, where I matter.
Not because of who I am.
Here, where the educated learn to rise.
If I fight each day against those who chastise.
Because I'm different and don't give a damn. I belong in a place where they are wise.
Where I'd strive towards a Nobel Prize.
I'm free to act because I'm free to move. Here,
where the educated learn to rise.
If I am filled with defiance, when my eyes bear witness to injustice, great or small.
I belong in a place where they are wise.
Where we are allied, not to polemize.
Instead, because it's fun to share a drink.
Here, where the educated learn to rise.
Together we come to break those who despise.
Inclusivity equals success. Our epigram, I belong in a place where they are wise.
Here, where the educated learn to rise.
The University of Manchester is a global university at the heart of a cosmopolitan, diverse and friendly city, Manchester. Throughout our history of both the university and the city, we have welcomed the exchange of people and ideas. The UK has voted to leave the European Union. This is undoubtedly causing uncertainty and concern. However, we will continue to be a global university. It's now more important than ever that we commit to our national and international role and that we welcome people from near and from afar, and that we ensure that our university remains that diverse community. We are all part of the University of Manchester, wherever we come from.
You've all got your own stories and your own pasts, but wherever you've come from, whether it's near or far, you're now part of something special. Here, our personal journeys merge into the bigger story, in which we all play our part and all leave our mark. History surrounds us through our rituals, in our stories, our experiences, and it lives through our friendships. Your story will become part of our history and the history of those around you, the histories of all the people of our university. A history that has an impact not only in Manchester, but on the story of the world. Together we create worlds that are seen differently by everyone. We've engineered powerful and inspiring characters. We delve into the minds of others and strive to understand in a way that science can only dream of. We search in the present for clues to the past, and in the past we find the clues to our present. We're the masters of time. We slow it down, we investigate its past, and influence its future. History is never fixed, it's always changing, and identity is always in the making, never made. This is Manchester, and in this university, our humanity ignites revolution, forges creation, and helps us understand the world.